All right, so if you saw what happened yesterday, the day before, Silicon Valley Bank, this is one of the biggest failed banks since 2008, Washington Mutual. Now, one interesting thing, there was a tweet from Binance, CZ of Binance. This is pure speculation, but it almost seems as if there's a coordinated effort to take down crypto-friendly banks. Interesting thought. Now, what would be Exhibit A in making the argument that this was some sort of coordinated efforts? I don't know if you know the genesis of the bank collapse, but there was no actual reason for the bank to have collapsed. What happened was they had something like 20 billion they had purchased in fixed rate loans or fixed rate bonds, okay, which is normally a very stable, very safe investment, correct? And what happened? The government raised interest rates. Okay, so the value of those bonds deteriorated. Now that in and of itself isn't fatal. What was fatal was that 3 or 4 days ago, long before it was clear to me that anybody should have been sounding the alarm with this much urgency, alarm bells were going all off, most famously by Peter Thiel, as far as I know, saying, get your money out of SVB now. Prior, that's what instigated the bank run. The alarm bells going off and everybody saying, get your money out. Because that's what made them ultimately collapse, right? Because there was a run on the bank, a classic, we better get a classic run on the bank. We better get all our money out. Now, had no alarm bells gone off, that was not necessarily a bank that was where it was like organically the case that everybody started to, come to the conclusion that the bank was about to go under. So you got to wonder, was it a deliberately orchestrated hit on the bank, trying to instigate a panic? Now, they legitimately lost money, 20 billion fixed rate bonds. Okay, but that's not the end of the world. I forget what they had under assets, but that wasn't their entire portfolio. So why were there all these urgent alarm bells saying, get your money out? Because that's what actually instigated the bank run and the collapse. Had nobody sounded alarm bells, there would have been no run on the bank, and the bank would be fine today. So we'll see what happens on Monday. But I'm very dubious about that. Another dubious Exhibit A in terms of the government trying to deliberately harm crypto. Some of you may have known what happened with Voyager. Me and my wife had crypto in Voyager. Okay, they were about to be bought out by Binance. We get a message, good news, our crypto is safe. We're about to be bought out by Binance so I can access my crypto. And now the government's fighting that? Huh? The government is fighting that. I saw that the other day. The government is intervening to try and stop Binance from acquiring Voyager. Now, why on earth would they be doing that? So what exactly is going on? Well, this is all speculation. So make of this what you will. But given the track record of our government of late, I think it's common sense to some degree. You can say conspiracy theorists, but I say common sense. Same thing these days. Pretty much same thing these days. Okay, they're about to come out with, or there's talk of them coming out with their own digital currency, either a Fed digital currency or a digital dollar. Now, one of the things, the side notes of SVB going down, and I'm sure somebody gamed this out, if we're going with my conspiracy theory, okay, SVB went down, and that's why you saw that, I think it was USDC or got depegged. That's why. Why? Because some of their assets were in SVB, something like 3 billion, and that's what is responsible for maintaining the peg. So do you think somebody instigated a run on the bank unnecessarily? Had powerful people sound an alarm, say everybody get your money out, even though everybody didn't need to get their money out? Created a bank crisis, a run on the bank, so the bank fails within 2 days so that they could depeg a currency? That doesn't seem all that far reaching. That's not exactly 50 moves down the chessboard. That's like 2 moves down the chessboard. And the government is toying with the idea of coming out with their own, cryptocurrencies. Do you think they're going to allow there to be any such thing? They're going to try to get rid of exactly what? Stable coins. Why? Because they'll be competing with the U.S. government. I don't know. Again, it's just speculation, but to me, it's like I said, to be a conspiracy theorist nowadays is to just be paying attention. It's basically applying common sense to situations and going, well, why is this actually happening? As opposed to, a bank just went under. Nothing to see here. It happens all the time. So I don't know. It seemed to me that the fact that the run instigated on the bank was not organic. It wasn't like the bank had this long history and track record and it was clear that it was in trouble for, a year and a half or something. They sounded the alarm bells at least 2 or 3 days before alarm bells needed to be sounded, before it was even clear that there was an alarm. Now, we'll see. We'll see how the government responds on Monday. If they actually take over the bank and bail them out completely, in order to pay back the creditors so they treat it like it's too big to fail, then no, the government didn't want the bank to go under. I don't anticipate that that's what's going to happen, but if that happens, then that would be a clear indication that the government is on the side of the bank staying afloat and contributing to its creditors. Other than that, speculation, but there's a lot of these. There's been a lot of these things going on that are very mysterious. And every time I see the government, especially with SEC and Gensler, I never think he's a good actor. I never think he has good intentions. I'm always like, oh God, what is he trying to do now? And to me, it's always malevolent. Is it a coincidence that New York State is trying to declare Ethereum a security? Did you see that one? Is that related? Is that unrelated? Don't know. But what it amounts to, not really sure. But it wouldn't surprise me if they are literally trying to, if not destroy crypto altogether, which they might not see as an achievable goal, at least get rid of stablecoins or dramatically decrease the efficacy of stablecoins. If stablecoins aren't stable, why would anybody buy them? Why would anybody use them? If stablecoins are notoriously for failing, that would kind of put a damper on the stablecoin industry. Then the United States government puts its own, digital currency dollar, and that will be the only stable coin in town that anybody would ever use. If they manage to, a lot of these things have been against stable coins. And they seem to me like coordinated hits. So, again, make what you will of my tinfoil hat. To me, it just seems like a common conspiracy theorist nowadays means you're common sense and you're paying attention. So, there you have it. Don't know what to make of it all. We'll find out more on Monday.